What if I told you that the way you care for your body, then especially down there, could quietly, profoundly, and powerfully redefine how you age, how you feel in your skin, how you move through the world, how you connect with others, and most importantly, how you connect with yourself? Because this isn't just about vaginal health. It's about everything tied to it. Your sense of safety in your body, your ability to feel pleasure, your confidence in intimacy, your trust in your own rhythms and needs. And yet, so many women, especially over 40, have been conditioned to turn away from this part of themselves, to ignore subtle changes, to write off discomfort as just getting older, and to shrink away from question, from conversation, from even looking in the mirror, not out of shame but out of silence. A silence passed down from generations of women taught to endure, not explore. But what if we did things differently? What if this chapter of life, this beautiful, wise, resilient post-40 era, was not the end of your connection to your sensuality, but the beginning of a deeper, more empowered one? You deserve to feel good in your body. You deserve to understand it, fully, compassionately, without fear or apology. Whether you're in your 40s navigating hormonal shifts, in your 50s rediscovering your needs, or in your 60s or 70s still wanting to feel vibrant, whole, and alive, you are not done growing. You are not done blooming. This video isn't about vanity. It's about vitality. It's about understanding the 5 essential care practices that women over 40 are rarely taught, but desperately need to know. These aren't complicated, they're not expensive, but they are life-changing, quietly, powerfully, and deeply. So if you've been wondering why certain changes are happening, if you've felt alone or uncertain or even disconnected from a part of yourself you once knew so well, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes you may find answers your doctor never gave you, and permission you didn't know you needed. Let's talk, woman to woman, about something that should never be a secret. How to care for your most intimate self with dignity, strength, and love. And trust me, your future self is already thanking you. Tip 1. Hydration isn't just skin deep. You've heard it 1,000 times, drink more water, stay hydrated, for your skin, your energy, your heart. But how often has someone told you that your vaginal health depends on it just as much? You see, as we enter our 40s, 50s, and beyond, our bodies begin to shift in ways that aren't always talked about, even in a doctor's office. One of the quiet but significant changes? Estrogen levels begin to gently decline, and with that moisture, natural, internal, essential moisture, starts to fade, not just in your skin or joints, but in the most intimate, delicate parts of your body. And here's where the conversation gets real. Because dryness isn't just inconvenient, it's uncomfortable. It can make everyday movement feel irritating. It can make intimacy feel like something to avoid instead of embrace. It can change how you feel about yourself in the quiet moments, when you're alone, when you're dressing, when you're remembering who you used to be. But you are not broken. You are not past your prime. What you are is in need of nourishment, not just emotionally or spiritually, but physiologically. Hydration is one of your body's love languages. It whispers safety. It brings softness back to the surface. It makes pleasure possible again, not just in sex, but in simple comfort. And it begins with small, simple practices that have the power to restore balance. Yes, drink your water. But also, think about vaginal moisturizers, the right kind. pH-balanced, fragrance-free, made to harmonize with your body, not fight against it. And for many women, vaginal suppositories, particularly those with hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, or natural oils, can do what no lotion ever could. They don't just mask dryness, they replenish, they soothe, they rebuild trust between you and your body. Because this isn't about pretending you're younger. It's about honoring who you are right now, a woman worthy of comfort, closeness, and confidence at every age. And if you've ever felt hesitant, unsure, or even a little embarrassed to talk about this, let this be your permission. You are allowed to prioritize your intimate wellness, not for anyone else, but for you. But here's the thing that surprises most women. Hydration isn't only about moisture, it's about balance. And balance begins with something most of us were never taught to pay attention to: your vaginal pH. Because that occasional itch, that lingering odor, that discomfort after intimacy, it may not be what you think. In the next tip, I'll explore the invisible ecosystem within you, and the one small mistake that could be quietly throwing everything off. Tip 2 balances everything, respecting your pH. Your vagina is one of the most intelligent systems in your body. It is not dirty. It is not flawed. It is not in need of constant correction. It is brilliant, a self-cleaning, self-regulating, exquisitely balanced ecosystem. But here's the truth we rarely talk about. As we get older, especially into our 40s, 50s, and beyond, that natural balance can become more vulnerable. Not because your body is failing, but because the environment around you, from the products you use to the habits you've inherited, can start to chip away at that delicate harmony. Think about how often we've been taught to scrub, mask, deodorize, or freshen up down there. From bubble baths filled with chemicals to heavily perfumed feminine sprays, many of the products marketed to women are rooted in a single, dangerous message: that your natural scent is wrong, that your body needs to be controlled. But let me tell you something with absolute clarity. Your body is not the problem. The products are. Harsh soaps, especially the ones labeled antibacterial or feminine, can strip away the protective bacteria that keep you healthy. Scented wipes, sprays, douches, they don't clean you, they confuse your body. And in your 40s and beyond, when your estrogen begins to drop and your natural lubrication decreases, your flora, the good bacteria, becomes more sensitive to these subtle disruptions. What happens when your pH is thrown off? Irritation, burning, odor, itching, recurring infections that feel like they come out of nowhere. And the most heartbreaking part? So many women blame themselves. They wonder what's wrong with them, when the real issue is often just imbalance and not illness. The solution is not more control, it's more trust. Stop douching. It's never necessary. Skip the fragrance. Your natural scent is not something to hide. Choose unscented, pH-balanced cleansers made specifically for the vulva, and only use them externally, never inside. And sometimes, the best care is to simply let nature do what it's always done. Your vagina cleans itself from the inside out. When we stop interfering, it starts healing. When your pH is respected, something beautiful happens. You start to feel in sync with your body again. You stop fighting it. You begin to understand that the goal isn't control, it's connection. And that connection leads to comfort, to confidence, and to clarity in what your body is trying to tell you. Because sometimes the signs your body gives aren't just physical, they're emotional. Tightness in your hips, tension in your pelvis, a quiet sense that something's blocked. What if your body has been holding on to stress in the most intimate places and you've never been taught how to let go? In the next tip, I'll explore the connection between vaginal health and emotional tension, and how simple, loving movements can unlock both your body and your spirit. Tip 3, move with meaning, pelvic floor power. Let's talk about the silent shifts, that slight pressure when you walk or stand, the sudden leak when you laugh too hard, sneeze, or lift something, that constant awareness that something's just not as strong as it used to be. You're not broken. These are not symptoms of weakness. They're signals. They are your body's way of calling you back to your center. You see, the pelvic floor isn't something we've been taught to think about, let alone care for. But this group of deep, supportive muscles is the literal foundation of your core. It holds your bladder, your uterus, your bowels. It stabilizes your spine, supports your hips, and even influences how you breathe. Yet so many women only hear about it when something goes wrong. A prolapse, a leak, a loss of sexual sensation. And here's the truth that rarely gets spoken. Just like every other part of your body, your pelvic floor ages. But aging isn't the enemy. Neglect is. With awareness and gentle care, you can restore tone, coordination, and vitality to this most sacred part of you. Kegel exercises, when done correctly, are a powerful start. But they're not everything. They must be paired with full-body breathing, mindful movement, and sometimes even the guidance of a pelvic floor physical therapist. Because strength without flexibility can lead to more tension. And tension left unchecked doesn't just live in your muscles, it lives in your emotions too. When you begin to reconnect with your pelvic floor, when you breathe deeply into your lower belly, engage gently, Release consciously. Something shifts. You feel taller, lighter, more in control. You stop bracing your body against the world and start moving with it. That's not just physical freedom, that's emotional liberation. Imagine this: laughing without worry, dancing without fear, being intimate without shame or discomfort. This isn't a fantasy. This is your body, remembered. This is your strength, reclaimed. But here's the thing. All the strength in the world means nothing if you're unknowingly exposing yourself to hidden risks every single year. Risks that most women don't even realize they're facing until it's too late. In the next tip, I'll uncover the most overlooked practice that could not only protect your health, but quite possibly save your life. Tip 4. Screenings are self-love, not shame. There's a certain kind of courage that never gets talked about. The quiet, dignified kind. The kind it takes to pick up the phone and make that appointment you've been avoiding. The kind it takes to lie back under the harsh light of a sterile room and say, "Yes, I choose to know. I choose to care." Pap smears, pelvic exams, vulvar checks. They may feel uncomfortable, awkward, even invasive. But let's reframe that. These aren't humiliations, they are honors, they are rituals of protection, not punishment. You're not doing this because something is wrong. You're doing it because you're worth safeguarding. Vaginal and vulvar cancers may be rare, but they are real. And postmenopausal women are statistically more likely to be diagnosed late. Not because the signs weren't there, but because society taught them to stay silent. And silence, while it may feel safe, isn't protection. Shame is not safe. Dismissing your symptoms to not cause a fuss isn't modesty. It's unnecessary risk. Your body deserves more. Because your health is not a burden. It's not a side note. It is sacred. So if you've been putting it off, that annual exam, that follow-up, that hard question you've been too shy to ask, take this moment as your sign. Ask. Book. Advocate. This is self-respect in action. This is love made visible. And remember, early detection isn't about fearing the worst. It's about protecting the best of you, your time, your energy, your future. When you choose to get screened, you're telling the world, I matter. I am not invisible. I am not done. You're saying, this life, it's still mine to live fully, and there is nothing more powerful than that. So now you've nourished your body. You've restored balance, reclaimed strength, and honored your health. But what about desire? What about connection? What about pleasure? And yes, even now, especially now, because our final tip isn't about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about reigniting the flame that age can never extinguish. Tip 5, don't abandon pleasure, redefine it. Let's be honest. There's a moment, somewhere in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, where society tries to quietly erase you. Beauty ads stop speaking to you. TV screens go silent. The world suggests, subtly or blatantly, that your sensuality has an expiration date. But here's the truth. Your sensuality is not gone. It's not even close. It's just waiting for you to see it through a wiser lens. Because pleasure, real pleasure, isn't just for the young. It's for the brave, the seasoned. The women who've lived enough life to know that joy isn't optional. It's essential. And no, it may not look the way it did at 25. But that's not a loss, it's an evolution. Vaginal health and sexual well-being are intertwined. A dry vagina doesn't mean you've lost desire. It means your body is asking for support, for nourishment, for attention. And that's not shameful. That's sacred. It's time to talk openly, with your doctor, with your partner, with yourself. Use a lubricant, a good one, not because you're broken, but because you're honoring what you need. Explore vaginal estrogen if needed. Read books that celebrate your body. Touch yourself, and not in guilt but in grace, because when you connect with your body, your whole life begins to soften and awaken. You are not past your prime. You are entering your own prime, where pleasure is no longer performative. It's personal, intimate, real, liberated. So don't abandon pleasure. Redefine it. Not for anyone else, but for you. Because joy is not something you age out of. It's something you grow into, and more fully, more fiercely, more freely. You deserve comfort, you deserve intimacy. You deserve to be touched, gently, wholly, not just by another, but by your own sense of worth. You deserve joy, not just in your 20s, not just in midlife, but always. And that is the final, most powerful truth your future self is waiting for you to embrace. 5 powerful truths. 5 intimate, often unspoken keys to a more empowered you. These weren't just tips, they were invitations. Invitations to reconnect with the deepest parts of yourself, to honor the changes your body has carried you through, to shift from silence to self-trust, to move from shame to sovereignty. Because aging is not the end of something beautiful, it's the deepening of it. It's not about fading, it's about focusing. It's not decline, it's a transformation, one that leads not away from power but into it. So if something in this video made you pause, if even a sentence landed softly in your chest or echoed something you've been quietly feeling, let that be a spark, a signal. A new chapter begins. Like this video if you believe, like we do, that women deserve more truth and fewer taboos, that our bodies, our voices, our sensuality deserve reverence, not rules. Subscribe if you're ready for more conversations that go beyond surface-level advice and dive into the wisdom women rarely get to share. Share this with someone you love, a sister, a daughter, a mother, a friend, because we are never meant to walk this path alone. And no woman should feel like she's unraveling in silence. Most of all, comment below. Tell us which truth felt most real for you. What have you learned about womanhood, wellness, and sensuality through the seasons of your life? What do you wish someone had told you when you needed it most? Your story could be the mirror another woman is aching for. Your voice could be the bridge between fear and freedom. So speak, share, shine. Together, let's turn the volume up on what's real. Let's redefine what it means to age, to feel, to be a woman. Because this isn't just vaginal care. This is a movement. This is medicine. This is coming home to yourself.